Make sure you surround yourself with good people. Make sure you surround yourself with people that really care about you and people that wasn't trying to lean on you for what you could provide for them. Be around people that really care about you, people that's gonna build you up and help you get back established. And you don't be around people that's gonna down talk you. Put yourself around, people that's gonna push the word on you first and foremost. They're gonna make sure that your spirit man is right. Got to make sure your spirit man is right and aligned with the Lord. Make sure all else fails, you remember that you're a man of God first, created in God's image.
Welcome back to another episode of Back to Life. It's yours truly, Buckley on air, and I have another special guest with me. I have a former UCF Knight and current head coach at Marietta High School.
Assistant head coach. Assistant head coach. I'm just an assistant coach, not assistant head coach, just assistant coach. I'm over the box. I got the D line and the linebacker.
So, future head coach in the making and current assistant coach at Marietta High School. EJ Dunston, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. What's good?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you. First thing I always like to ask everybody, why football?
Well, for me, really, because I ended up getting bigger. Really, I was a basketball player at first. I played basketball and baseball first. Those were my first sports. But by the time I was in the seventh grade and I was 230, damn near 6 foot, I was like, okay, all right, I'm getting a little size on me. I always played basketball though, but I always enjoyed watching football. I knew I was gonna play football, but once I really got the size on me in seventh grade, and then got to high school for real. I just knew I was gonna be at Edgewater playing football. I just ain't know I was gonna be so big so early.
Got you. When you was at Edgewater, what position did you play?
I played D line first, and then when Wakava was created, we kind of lost population. We lost a lot of students. We ended up dropping classifications. We used to be 6A, and then we had ended up dropping down to 4A. Then I ended up having to play O line and D line because whatever the team needs. But yeah, D line, O line.
What so I'm obviously O line is offensive line, D line is
Mm.
defensive line. For you, what are some of the differences or even similarities playing on the offensive side of the ball compared to playing on the defensive side of the ball?
See, offense, they trying to score. They trying to put on a show. If you got a high scoring offense, then you got some guys that's making plays. But when you got a nice sound defense, they're just disciplined and they do their job. They're defending points. They're trying to stop things from happening. They don't know what's happening. They just reading their keys and responding to whatever offense is doing, and then at the same time trying to shut whatever they're trying down. So both of them got their work to do. Both of them got their work cut out for them. But I believe, offense. I think it's easier to execute than it is to actually defend somebody who's good at what they do.
I didn't play football, so I understand what you're saying. I was more defensive player when it came down to basketball, so you kind of got to be a little bit reactionary or try to force them to do what you want them to do. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
For you, you ended up after you were done at Edgewater, you ended up going to UCF. Why UCF, and what was your recruiting process like?
Well, mainly, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a homebody dog. I'm from Eatonville, Florida. Shout out to Eatonville, 87. It's a very tight knit community. So, that's only 30 minutes, give or take, from UCF. So I was able to get home in a drop of an eye, a blink of an eye, I was able to get home. And I wanted, my mom, my family, I wanted them to be at my games. So that was one of the reasons. Another reason, I know me, I need to be around somebody that's gonna help me hold me accountable back then, you know what I'm saying? And my boy Quincy McDuffie, Q, he had just went the year before me. He had just went to UCF on the full ride. And me and Q, man, we was real tight in high school. We was very smart. We held each other accountable. And in science class, Miss Lesher, one of my favorite teachers in high school, we used to always be at her window when she would put up the scores from the test and who got the what grade and all this. We would be able to compare and talking trash. That was something I always enjoyed doing with my boy. So him going to UCLA, I was like, okay, I got my boy there. He gonna help keep me in check. Just in case I had been a little hot head or doing what I want to do. Because that was me a little bit, just a little bit, just slightly. But yeah, I knew he would keep me in check. And then of course I just wanted to be close to family for real.
Did was there another school in Florida or like What other schools was recruiting you?
Okay, so Florida never sent an official offer. They just sent a lot of brochures and a lot of interest letter. They was sending stuff left and right. I had a lot of envelopes full of Florida stuff. Never official offer. So they actually were the only Florida school. But I had Georgia Tech was my first offer. I always low key wanted to go to Georgia Tech. Like that was my first official offer. Georgia Tech, Duke. I had one from Duke. I had one from Virginia, and UCF. And then North Carolina. North Carolina wanted me to come in as well. I had an offer from North Carolina. But, I kind of wanted to stay close to home.
Did you at least take the visits to any of those schools?
I did it because by the time I knew what I was going to do with college for real, I knew I was going to be going early. So I was trying to get everything lined up to where I can do that. I low key wish I would have took some of those visits, but once I got my mindset on something, I'm very persistent. I'm very determined. So I was like, man, I know I'm finna go here. I need to do this, this, and that. I had to take extra classes online and stuff to get ready to go because I graduated January of my senior year, so I was already in college. So back end of junior and front end of senior year, I was getting everything lined up to make sure, okay, yeah, I want to be out of here early and be in college. So,
So usually there's a transition between high school to college, and
mm,
everybody doesn't adjust well. For you, you were able to go early. Did that help you with that transition?
oh, most definitely, for surely. On top of the fact that I was determined, like I say, when I'm determined to do something, I'm persistent. Really, like anybody that really know me for real, they'll tell you I'm a persistent dude who's very persistent when you want something done. When I knew I was going early, I got everything lined up to do that. Took a bunch of classes on the back end. Took my final exams as midterms. And once I got to college in January, I hit the ground rolling, dog. For real, I worked out with all the upperclassmen. I wanted to be around those guys. I put my head down. I wasn't playing like I was serious for real. Like I knew what I came to do, and I ain't no sense in me graduating early and coming here and not really for real taking this serious and making sure I'm putting myself in a position to be ahead of anybody that's coming in and jump ahead of anybody that's already here. For real. Like that was my mindset. I'm coming to put my head down and work. I'm technically still in high school, but I know who I am. I know what I can do. And I'm finna show everybody else. I hit them weights hard that spring. I was hitting the field once we were starting spring football. I was I was doing everything I needed to do. And by the time I was going to prom of my senior year, I also was playing in the spring game and I was starting in the spring game. Like I started in the spring game as a not even a true freshman. I wasn't a true freshman yet. I was a freaking high school senior. So yeah, I was like I knew what I came there to do, and that's what I did.
That's impressive. One, because like again, that transition, obviously there's the weight program and all of that kind of stuff that usually that's where I've heard a lot of athletes have that transition. For you to be able to still be in high school, you still going to prom and things of that nature, but you out there, you about to go start in a spring game, that's major. And
Yeah,
that's not to be taken lightly. Um, while you were there, you UCF was able to enjoy probably one of their first seasons of major success, which is that 2013 team where you guys went 12-1. And that's not the first, that was the first time, but they also happened again where UCF went undefeated. In this particular season, after the regular season was over, everybody, or at least for me, when I was at Florida State, but I heard a lot of people saying that you guys was national champions. For you, were you somebody that subscribed to that? And do you feel like you guys got at least cheated from an opportunity to play for a national championship?
all right, so before I even jump into that one, I gotta slide back to what you first said. That 12-1 team was nice, real talk. But I don't even consider that being our first opportunity at success for real. My true freshman year, we won the conference championship and we beat Georgia in the Liberty Bowl when I was a true freshman in 2010. So that's kind of we brought our first conference. No, I don't think it was the first conference one. I think it was the second conference one. In fact, they won the conference once before that. But we got the first bowl game win for real. The first bowl game win, and it was against Georgia, UGA.
So
That was
with that one,
2010 Liberty
who who
Bowl.
was who was on that Georgia team when you guys
AJ
won?
Green was playing on that team. I think was it Moreno? I think Moreno. I think he was the running back. The quarterback was your boy Freak.
Stafford?
What's his? No, not Stafford.
Aaron,
Freak.
Aaron.
I can't remember the quarterback name. We're gonna have to look it. I forgot his name, but they
I
had
think
AJ Green
it's
and they had
Aaron
Olsen,
something.
the tight end. The tight end that was nice, and AJ Green. Both of them. And they had the running back. I think it was Moreno or something like that. I can't remember for surely, but they had a nice little team. They were put together. I mean, it's Jordan, of course, and everybody saying they was gonna whoop us, but we did what we were supposed to do. But then, yeah, that 12-1 team, we should have beat South Carolina. We should have beat them. Would have been undefeated that year. That was the only we lost to South Carolina. I ain't gonna lie. I always remember I caught a punt on my boy Dion Green. Dion Green, shout out Dion, man. He tipped the punt. I caught that, put us in good position. That was a real good game. I ain't gonna lie, I had a good game that game. But yeah, that was the only one that we lost. And then to speed to what you really asked, as far as do I consider them national champions, I'm gonna tell you like this. When it comes to me, I'm family oriented. I'm gonna hold my folks down regardless. So if you wrong to the public, I'm riding with you. But when I pull you to the side, hey man, you know you were wrong for what you said or what you did. Now you know we got, you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
to keep, so I'm standing with UCF. They say they national champs, they national champs. And I also feel that way because I don't think they were the first team to claim that. I think it was a while ago Alabama claimed that. I think it might say somebody else did it before. But to be real, nah, we not. I mean, we beat the people who beat the people in national champion and all this other stuff. But unless we actually line it up, we can't necessarily say that we're really national champs. But hey, if UCF saying it, I'm standing with them. That's my folks. So they rocking, I'm rolling.
So that happened. What about the second time that it happened when y'all was when they went undefeated? Did you feel that way as well?
Nah, like I say, bro, we were just doing what we were supposed to do, bro. Everybody always counting us out. Everybody always saying UCF this, UCF that, or they ain't playing nobody. But then when we do play somebody, then what? Everybody on hush mouth. So you know what I'm saying? Until you actually play for that national championship, you can't necessarily say that you are national champions. But again, if they rocking or rolling, they national champs. We national champs, baby. That's what we are.
I got you. So I went and looked it up. So the quarterback was Aaron Murray,
Aaron Murray,
and
the
it
running back was
wasn't.
who?
I think no Sean had already left because I think no Sean and Matthew Stafford were there AJ Green's freshman year, and this
Okay.
looked like it's AJ Green's last year in
Yeah, that
college.
was AJ Green senior year for sure. I know that for
Yeah.
sure. Though. My boy Jo had a nice little play. He was a true freshman too, where he kind of put the clamps on him a little piece. Shout out my boy Jo.
So you played at UCF. Did you ever consider transferring throughout your 4 years?
Man, hell no. And no disrespect to folks who be all on that transfer stuff. And to be real, back then, boy, hey man, listen, UCF, Georgia O'Leary, shout out to Georgia O'Leary as far as being a head ball coach and all that, but I ain't gonna sit here and say he was the best person. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a very relational coach, in my opinion. So a lot of folks didn't really like the program, the system of, how things were going, how they were treated and all this and that. I'm one of the people, but I'm loyal, you know what I'm saying? Like even with Edgewater, I could have transferred out of Edgewater my junior year when we went 5-5. I could have spent my senior year somewhere else, but that was never a thought in my mind. Transferring for what? Like I ain't that type of guy. Oh, things ain't going right. Oh, I need to go here. I need to go there. No, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Fight it out. You know what I'm saying? Fight it out. Figure it out. So not transferring was never, wasn't never crossed my mind. Not high school, not college. I never. I mean, like I said, I was starting since high school senior technically. So you know what I'm saying. I know if anything happens, it's on me.
No, and that's very retrospective and like to hold yourself accountable because a lot of people, especially now, things don't go the way that people want them to, and then they just jump ship. Whether it's
Mm-hmm.
AAU, whether it's
Yeah.
college, they just decide to leave.
Bro, I hate to see all these, transfer portal, I'm going here, where will I end up? Man, it's all me, 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 me. I was never that type of player, man. It's all, what am I going to do? Where am I going to land? Then you seeing it from the youth levels to the high school levels to college. It's crazy, dog.
It's as you like you saying, people are very selfish. But you said one, you're a team guy, you're a loyal guy, and it showed in throughout your career and the success that you did have on the college level.
Yes, sir.
Uh, After you finish at UCF, for any player, you managed to make it to the D1 level, and you finished your senior year out with a high level of success. I would imagine the next step, or at least the next thought for you, is to play at the pro level. So first of
Right.
all, were you invited to the combine, and what was your pro day experience like?
Nah, I didn't have a combine invite, but my pro day, I did pretty good at pro day. Pro day was straight, did what I could. I didn't really have a lot that I was doing before pro day. So everything on pro day I was doing on my own. Like I didn't have an agent that was paying for me to go here, go there. Like I was doing everything on my own, doing my own workouts, doing my own running, lifting, and all that. It wasn't until after pro day where I ended up getting a different agent who started sending me out the wide world of sports. And I was training with Tom Shaw and all that type of stuff. So pro day, like I said, it was decent for me. I don't necessarily remember. I don't think I had no crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really a test guy. I wasn't a train guy. I didn't, to be honest, when I sit back and think about it, with me being a coach now, I definitely could have done more. You know what I'm saying? But you did what you did. My play on the field showed what it showed. Put up the numbers I put up, and you live with the results.
So with you changing agents, and obviously he was able to put you in other situations to work at, like you said, Wide World of
Mhm.
Sports. Did other opportunities for like signing to the training camp or anything like that, did those opportunities come for you?
Nope. Main thing that kind of stopped all of that, once everything came and went with draft and the whole invites to mini camps and all that, rookie mini camp, OTAs, all that. Once all that was over with, me and my agent was trying to figure out why nothing happened because I had some projections, I had some pre-draft calls, and that's not just me talking. Anybody that know me or want to look it up, they can look me up and figure that out. But once all that didn't go through and we figured out what it was, he spoke to one of the teams. I had two pre-draft calls, and you only get pre-draft calls if you're on somebody's draft board. So the Dolphins and the Vikings were my two pre-draft calls. He spoke to the Vikings after the fact and was trying to figure out what was going on. And his exact words, something I always remember, was word got back to us that he could be a potential problem in our locker room due to an attitude issue. So, whatever happened with my time at UCF or whoever I rubbed the wrong way or whoever they spoke to, not everybody probably had the best to say about me and my attitude. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was a guy. I wasn't that, like I said, George O'Leary was who he was and his players was who we were. You know what I'm saying? Some people got with it, some people kind of were combative, some people were rebellious, some people up and straight got disrespectful. I had a disrespectful moment that I think kind of cost me in front of the whole team where I kind of snapped on him. And I let him know how he was treating me and the team and the program itself. I don't think whether him or whoever in the program, whoever spoke to who, I don't think that situation benefited me. On top of when I was there, I won't say I had the best attitude. Like I wasn't the leader they wanted me to be. They wanted me to yell at folks and be all on everybody, jumping out everybody's back about stuff that I kind of had an issue with. Like, I ain't finna yell at this man to do something when I know I don't even want to do this, and we kind of shouldn't even be doing this, and you kind of tripping. I'm gonna just do what you asked me to do. I'm gonna lead by example, but I ain't finna be yelling and, hey man, you need to do this. I don't even want to do this for real. I don't even agree with how you talking to us. I don't agree, you know what I'm saying, with what's going on. I'm gonna just do it because I'm my mind on something else. I'm ready to get through this. I'm ready to get to what's next. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of who I was when I was there, and I think that kind of in a way made me, not have the best chance of getting there.
So that makes me raise the question because you are now a coach, and I imagine that with coaching, a lot of it is building up these kids.
Right.
So can you speak to? I hear a lot of people talk about the business, and that goes to NFL, even college, the business of the sport, and how people can give you opportunities and take opportunities away. In this
Right.
situation, so something that I don't understand is if I had you as my player and you did well for me, I want the best for you. Me and you may not have had the best relationship, but I want the best for you. How does how is there that level of disconnect that somebody who coached you is also somebody that'll go tell somebody bad about you rather than trying to help you or at least have a conversation with you straight up and say, hey, what you did in practice, that wasn't cool. Me and you need to have a conversation in our office.
Well, I was suspended for a game after that. It was the end of my senior year, so it was the end of my senior year. This I got injured in a South Florida game. It was like towards it was senior night actually. I kind of tweaked my knee a little bit. Some things throughout that week of practice that next week all kind of transpired that built up to me going off on, the whole situation. He suspended me for that game that we had actually was the conference championship. And we was playing SMU. It was snowing. It was a snow day in Dallas. We played SMU in the snow. I didn't get to travel to that game. I was suspended. And then when they came back, we met, we talked about it. Like I said, one on one, me and him was always, we could see eye to eye. We were straight one on one. But like when he was in front of everybody, he's like kind of that coach that was, I'm here, you all are here. My way or the highway. I'm up here, you're down here. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, he was an old school coach for real. You know what I'm saying? He's a great ball coach. I won't take nothing from the X's and O's. Great ball coach. Not very relational, like I say. So I'm from the Bill Gerke era, who is a very relational coach. You know what I'm saying? On top of X and O's guy and disciplinarian, all that, he's a relational coach as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the Fred Ray. Coach Fred Ray was my D line coach. On my behind, like crazy, but very relational at the same time. So I could deal with you, you know what I'm saying, talking to me a certain way of being on me if I know that you care about me for real. So that's always been who I was as a coach. Like I really care about my players. Whether I just meet them or whether I know them for a while, I really care about my players as men first. Like I ain't gonna disrespect them and talk to them like they're not a young man. Like that's first and foremost. Like I'm gonna talk to you like you are a man. Like I know I want somebody to talk to me. That's first and foremost. I always respect my guys, and because I want their respect too. You can't demand respect without giving. So I love my guys for real, and I'm very relational with them. So therefore, I can be hard on them. Ain't no athlete that I don't coach ain't gonna tell you that Coach EJ wasn't hard on me, or he was hard on me and ain't love me. They gonna tell you, oh yeah, that man love me for real. And he coached the hell out of me. Like I'm very relational, and I'm a players coach. That's who I am. I'm a players coach. Like I'm about the players for real.
Like you said, respect is earned, not given. I feel like with any coach, if you can show the player that you care about them, you can get the most out of them. So to me, I think it's disappointing to hear any player that has experience with a coach where the coach didn't show that they cared about them, but they're just constantly on their neck. But I mean, again,
Mm.
that's just everybody
A
different.
lot of these coaches want to win now. Whether some of them at the youth level was really disgusting me. Like at the youth level, when you just want to win now, you trying to recruit this player, recruit that player, and you doing all the time. I ain't gonna lie, man. Some stuff going on in my city I really don't like too much. Doing all this and that about you. Like, is it about the youth kids or is it
Mhm.
about program image or is it about the coach? Like, what is it really about? Like,
Right.
they taking football and development all away from it. It's like, oh, I want this kid because he can do that. Okay, well, what about this kid who can't really do this and you coach him up and build him up, teach him the game? Like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of makes me upset with what's going on in my city, and I hope we get better with it. And I hope some of the parents need to wake up and start thinking about what's going on and saying something too. But, that's neither here nor there.
I think parents don't understand
The
it.
problem is some of these coaches, they just, it's about, oh, me, look who I got. Look what we about to do. Yeah, you got him in that, and then y'all finna lose. Like, or you got him in that, and then what are you really teaching this young man? You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think that a lot of the old school way of coaching and teaching kind of needs to come back, but we'll see. Hopefully sooner rather than later.